Hey everyone, welcome back to Mr. Daily English, the podcast where we talk about real life, real stories, and real conversations all in simple, clear English.
That's right. Whether you're relaxing, studying, or traveling, we're here to help you improve your English in the most natural way possible.
Every episode, we dive into daily life topics, share fun experiences, and sometimes even argue a little.
Exactly. So sit back, relax, and join us as we explore today's topic. And don't forget, learning English should always be fun.
Today, we're tackling a topic that I think is crucial for just about everyone.
It really is.
How to talk to anyone with, real confidence. We've got a whole stack of sources here, and we're going to get into some really practical steps.
Yeah, and that's the key word, isn't it?
Yeah.
Practical. Because confidence can feel like this huge abstract thing that you either have or you don't.
Exactly. Like some people are just born with it.
Right. But our mission for this deep dive is to totally tear that idea down. We've gone through the material to find the smallest, easiest things you can actually do.
Things you can do today.
Today. The goal is to lower the pressure, to get rid of this myth that you need to be perfect.
No perfection required. I like that. So, okay, if someone is listening right now and just the idea of starting a conversation is terrifying, where do they start? I mean, when that confidence wall feels way too high to climb.
You start small.
Yeah.
I mean, you start very, very small.
Like microscopically small.
Yes. The sources are all really clear on this. You don't need a full sentence. You start with just one word and one simple action.
Okay, I'm listening.
The word is hello, and the action is a smile, a real one.
Hello feels a bit obvious, but let's unpack the smile. Why is the smile maybe even more important than the word?
Because the smile is, well, it's a universal language. It's a shortcut. It sort of bypasses all the complex parts of communication.
A social lubricant is what one of the sources called it.
That's the perfect term for it. Because when you smile, you're sending a signal. It's almost biological. You're telling the other person's brain, I'm friendly, it's okay to talk to me.
So it's not just being polite, you're actually making them feel more relaxed.
You are. And when they feel relaxed, they're more likely to respond in a friendly way, which then makes you feel more relaxed. It's this.
A positive feedback loop.
Exactly, a positive feedback loop. So once you've done that, you've said your brave hello and you've smiled, there's a simple follow-up.
Which is the classic, how are you?
It is. And that's it. Hello, smile, how are you? You've just completed a full, successful social interaction. You should, mentally check that off as a win.
I love that. Banking the small victories. Okay, so we've opened the door, but then what? We need something to talk about that doesn't require a huge vocabulary.
Right. You need a safe topic.
Yeah.
And the number one go-to topic, according to all the research, is
the weather.
The weather. It's perfect. It's always there. It's always changing. And everyone has an opinion on it.
And it's completely non-controversial.
Totally. You can just say something simple like, it's a nice day today, or ask a question like, is it cold outside?
Or one I like is, it's very sunny today, isn't it? That little isn't it at the end invites them to agree with you.
It does. It keeps the what they call the cognitive load really low.
Yeah.
But here's the interesting part. The weather isn't really the point.
It's a bridge.
It's a bridge. You use it to get to something else.
So how do you do that? How do you pivot from talking about the rain to something more, more interesting without it feeling awkward?
You connect the weather to an activity. So, for example, instead of just saying, it's sunny, you could say, since the weather's so nice, do you have any fun plans for the weekend?
Ah, that's clever. You're connecting the universal thing, the weather, to something personal about them. It makes the jump feel natural.
It does. It gently moves the conversation forward. But, while we're on the topic of how we present ourselves, we have to talk about body language.
Right, because confidence isn't just what you say, it's how you hold yourself.
It's a huge part of it.
Yeah.
The sources talk about this idea of being a conversation superhero.
Okay, I like the sound of that. What does it mean? Stand tall, shoulders back.
That's the start. Stand tall, shoulders back. And it's not just about looking confident. It actually makes you feel more confident. It's another one of those feedback loops.
It's like a psychological hack using your own body.
Absolutely. And you want to avoid what they call closed behaviors. So things like looking at the floor or, oh, this is a big one, shoving your hands in your pockets.
I do that. A lot of people do that when they're nervous.
We all do. It feels safe, like a little shield. But taking them out makes you look so much more open and relaxed. You can even, use your hands a little when you talk. It shows you're engaged.
And what about eye contact? That can be tricky. You don't want to stare someone down.
No, definitely not. It's not a staring contest. The key is to look at the person for a few seconds while they're talking, or while you are, just to show you're listening. Then you can glance away for a second before looking back.
So it's about being present, but not intense.
Exactly. The main idea is open body, open conversation.
Okay, so that covers the physical side. Now, I want to get into what seems like the biggest shift, the one that happens in your mind.
This is maybe the most surprising thing we found in the research. When you want to be a confident conversationalist, the most important skill isn't talking.
It's listening.
It's listening. It's probably the most important part of a conversation.
Wait, okay, that sounds completely counterintuitive. In a deep dive about speaking with confidence, you're saying the most important thing is to be quiet.
I know, right? But think about it. When you put all your energy into truly listening to the other person, all the pressure on you to perform just melts away.
Because you're not desperately trying to plan your next brilliant sentence.
Exactly. You're just focused on them. And guess what? The other person feels heard, they feel respected, they enjoy talking to you more. Some research suggests people see active listeners as being almost 40% more charismatic.
40%! That's huge! Just from listening better.
It's a massive advantage. But this brings up a really common fear, especially for language learners. What happens if you're listening really hard and you just don't understand?
Oh yeah, that moment of panic, the words just fall right by you.
It happens.
Yeah.
And the key is to know that it is 100% okay to ask for help. It doesn't mean you failed. It actually shows that you care about what they're saying.
So it's a sign of respect, not weakness.
Absolutely. And you should have a couple of phrases ready to go just so you don't panic. Simple things.
Like what?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, please? Or even, can you speak a little slower, please? Most people are happy to help. They want you to understand.
Okay, so that's for not understanding.
Okay.
But what about the number one fear? The thing that stops most people? Making a mistake.
Ah, yes. The big one. The fear of saying the wrong word or using the wrong grammar.
How do we get past that? Because a mistake can feel so embarrassing.
You have to completely change how you think about mistakes. Here's the secret. Mistakes are not your enemy. Mistakes are your friends.
Your friends. That's a hard sell.
I know, but a mistake is just proof. It's proof that you're trying. It's proof that you're learning, that you're brave enough to be out there speaking.
So it's evidence of effort, not evidence of failure.
That's it, exactly.
Yeah.
And you have to remember, the goal is communication, not perfection. Most native speakers won't even notice small mistakes. They'll just be happy you're talking to them.
Communication, not perfection. That should be on a t-shirt. Okay, so let's get really practical. Where can people practice all this? The smile, the weather, the listening in a place that's super low pressure.
You need places with low stakes and high repeatability. And the best training grounds are those small, everyday moments.
Like what? Give me a scenario.
The coffee shop. It's a perfect example. The whole interaction is basically scripted, and it's very short.
Okay, walk me through it.
All right. You walk up to the counter. You make a little bit of eye contact with the person. You smile. You say hello. Then you give your order, 1 coffee, please.
Oh.
When you're paying, maybe you use that weather bridge. It's a beautiful day today, isn't it?
A little bonus practice.
A little bonus. Then when they give you your coffee, you close the loop politely. Thank you. Have a good day.
And that's it. A full, successful conversation. Start to finish, maybe it takes 30 seconds.
And you can do it every single day. Each time it builds a little bit more confidence. Another thing that helps is preparation.
Preparing for what?
For those common questions you're always going to get. Where are you from? What do you do?
Right. The questions that can make you freeze up if you're not ready.
So prepare a simple 1-sentence answer for them. And here's the trick. Practice saying them out loud in front of a mirror.
Talking to a mirror always feels a bit weird.
It does. But it works because you hear the words in your own voice. You see yourself saying them. So when the moment comes for real, you don't have to search for the words. They're just there.
You're giving yourself a little script to fall back on. That's a huge confidence booster. Okay, so we've started the conversation, we've listened, we've survived our mistakes. Now we have to end it. We can't just run away.
No, please don't just run away. A graceful exit is just as important as a good opening. It leaves a positive feeling for everyone.
So what are some simple phrases for that?
You can say, "It was very nice to meet you," or a bit more casual, "It was nice talking with you."
Simple, polite. I like it.
And then you can add one final friendly line, something like, "Have a wonderful day." And of course,
You end with one last smile.
you end with one last smile. You've come full circle. You started and ended with confidence and friendliness. That's a complete win.
This whole deep dive has really shifted the goal from being this perfect, eloquent speaker to just being a good communicator. Breaking it down to just saying hello and smiling and talking about the weather, it makes it feel so much more possible.
It is possible.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing to take away, I think, is that mindset about mistakes. They really are your allies. They're just data. They show you're in the game.
And it's so important for people to remember that every single person who speaks the language fluently was a beginner once. Everyone made mistakes.
Everyone. The only difference is that they were brave enough to keep trying.
Absolutely. So, as we wrap this up, we want to leave you with a final thought. This idea that every small talk is a small victory.
It really is. So we want to challenge you right now to think of one specific low-pressure opportunity for a small victory that you can try today. Maybe it's just saying hello to the cashier at the supermarket.
Or trying that weather question with a colleague. Whatever it is, identify it.
And then go do it. Don't wait until you feel perfect. Just start with being brave.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Mr. Daily English. I hope you enjoyed this episode and picked up something useful for your English learning journey. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new episode. Share your thoughts in the comments. Your feedback helps us grow and make better content for you. Thanks again for watching. See you in the next video. Keep practicing, keep improving, and stay confident with your English.